nini mimi nimeona mapolisi kama mimi wafupi height? Kwa nini hao watu hata saizi niko sure hawajazi namba yenye nafaa kuchukuliwa kazi, lakini mimi niko hapa, niko qualified na wananinyima?
Fair or not, thousands stand up for police recruitment as many fall short.
To give notice of motion for removal of Honorable Amos Nyaribo, the Governor of Nyamira County, from office by way of impeachment on the following grounds.
Nyamira Governor under siege. A formal motion seeking the removal of Nyamira County Governor Amos Nyaribo has officially been presented in the County Assembly.
The Chief Justice for permission. When others are on recess in January, I take off with this case. But your dates available is 8th of February to 12th February. So I've given you that first option.
And the much anticipated trial over the murder of Albert Ojwang is scheduled to commence on January 12th of 2026. Interpreter tonight is Laura Mondi. My name is Martin Macharia. We're live across the social media platforms. That is on Facebook and as well as on YouTube, and you can as well send us your feedback through our SMS line, that is 23059. EBN Prime Edition starts now. And the government has assured citizens that a cyber attack targeting multiple ministry websites on Monday morning has been successfully contained. Several government platforms, including the Ministries of Interior, Health, Education, Environment, Energy, Labor, and Water, were temporarily inaccessible due to the attack by suspects that identified themselves as PCP at Kenya. In a statement issued on November 17, the Principal Secretary for the Interior Ministry, Raymond Omolo, said the government promptly activated incident response and recovery procedures, collaborating with relevant stakeholders to restore access and mitigate the impact. Now, he further commended the hacking attempt, noting that it violated Kenyan law and international conventions, including the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act, the Kenya Information and Communications Act, and Data Protection Act. During the attack, affected websites displayed messages such as "access denied by PCP," we will rise again, white power worldwide, and 1488 Hail Hitler, highlighting the extremist nature of the hackers' communications.
Mimi hapa kila siku natolewa kwa kusema mimi ni mfupi.
All right, moving on, the nationwide recruitment exercise for police has attracted dozens of applicants, highlighting the strong interest among Kenyans to join the National Police Service. Reports from various recruitment centers indicate that while large numbers of aspirants stand up, a significant portion of applicants were disqualified due to failing to meet the required grade and height criteria. The recruitment drive, which aims to strengthen security across the country, has been closely monitored to ensure transparency and fairness. Authorities emphasized that only candidates who meet the stipulated academic and physical standards will proceed to the next stages of the selection process, while applicants who turned up argued that the process wasn't fair.
Mimi hapa kila siku natolewa kwa kusema mimi ni mfupi. Kwa nini? Mimi nimeona mapolisi kama mimi wafupi height? Kwa nini hao watu hata saizi niko sure hawajazi namba yenye nafaa kuchukuliwa kazi, lakini mimi niko hapa, niko qualified na wananinyima?
Nimekubali, sina discharge tena, nikaingia kwa line ya raia kama sasa raia juu niko qualified kwa grade. Akakuja akanitoa tena, akanitoa kwa kiwanja. Sasa mimi sioni makosa hii recruitment, sioni kama ni fair.
Huwa nafanya vibarua zangu, so huko tu ndo nitarudi tu, like kama nitaangukia Nyota Fund pia inaweza nisaidia kujijenga kima projects and what have you.
Nobody should be asked to give any bribes, and at this juncture we've not received any credible evidence to show that the exercise has been marred by that malpractices.
1,000 new recruits will seriously complement the staffing challenges that we have been facing, and also it will add to our operational capacity.
Natolewa kwa kusema mimi ni mfupi. Kwa nini? Mimi nimeona mapolisi kama mimi wafupi. Height kwa nini? Hao watu hata saizi niko sure hawajazi namba yenye nafaa kuchukuliwa kazi. Lakini mimi niko hapa niko qualified na wananinyima.
Nimekubali sina discharge. Tena nikaingia kwa line ya raia kama sasa raia juu niko qualified kwa grade. Akakuja akanitoa tena. Akanitoa kwa kiwanja. Sasa mimi sioni makosa hii.
Right, at the same time, the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja has announced that the ongoing nationwide recruitment of 10,000 police officers is part of efforts to boost national security ahead of the 2027 elections. Speaking during the impromptu visit to the William Olenti Mama Stadium in Narok Town, Kanja said the exercise will ensure the country has adequate security personnel as early preparations are crucial in mitigating potential security threats during the election period. He emphasized satisfaction with the progress of the recruitment, assuring residents that the process is being conducted transparently and that only the most qualified candidates will be selected to join the service. The recruitment drive had earlier been halted by the Employment and Labor Relations Court following a petition challenging whether the mandate to recruit officers lies with the National Police Service or the National Police Service Commission, that is the NPSC. The IG noted that the exercise, now back in track, is taking place in all 427 centers across the country and was scheduled to run from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Say this, you know, this the exercise kicked off early this morning, starting from 8. As I had, remember I said this the other day. I was in Macharia, somewhere in Nyeri, where I had gone to visit a police station that got burned down some times back, and I did say that we want a clean exercise. An exercise to start from 8 in the morning and end at 5 in the evening. Throughout all the 427 recruitment centers. Yeah. So far, the reports that I've gotten from throughout the country, throughout all the recruitment centers, is that we are doing very well. And we are headed in the direction that, as I indicated, that we want to get the best from Kenya. Yeah. As the next crop of officers to come and continue with the transformation journey of the service. Yeah? So, and as I've said, these young men and women, they're not only coming in as new recruits. We are also getting reformist officers, yeah, so that they can be able we can be able to continue the reform agenda of the service. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the reason why at the end of the day by 5 we should be having the 10,000 police officers with us, and then from there the next phase is the training phase. Yeah, they will be there for the next 9 months, and we are set on our trajectory because we're also looking beyond recruitment. We're also looking at the 2027 when you have the general elections. These are the officers who will be on deployment to ensure that we have the right environment to allow the people of Kenya exercise their civic duty. Then, and many others, to ensure that our country remains safe and secure all through. Thank you very much.
What is your message?
My message to the youth is that we need a society that is upright. Yeah, and it is in them that even the public service, we get these officers, the officers of the public service are gotten from our youth. So my message to the youth is that even when they are schooling, when they are going various, training programs, it's also important for them to also focus into the future and avoid some of the unnecessary areas of conflict that can actually put them into unnecessary frictions. Yeah, later in the life. Yeah, that's my message.
Right, moving on to the corridors of justice, the much anticipated trial over the murder of Albert Ojwang is scheduled to commence on January 12th, 2026. The prosecution led by Jackson Macharia, Deputy Director at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, that is the ODPP, revealed that the case will feature 6 witnesses under the witness protection program alongside extensive CCTV evidence totaling to 16 terabytes. Among the accused is the former officer commanding station, that is the OCS of Central Police Station, Samson Talam, along with several other officers. The trial is set to resume on December 15th for further presentation of evidence before the January hearing.
One, I could request the Chief Justice for permission When others are on recess in January, I take off in this case. But your dates available is 8th of February to 12th February. So I've given you that first option. 8th of February. Sorry, so it will be 9th to 12th. So those are the only available dates.
All right, moving on, a formal motion seeking the removal of Nyamira County Governor Amos Nyaribo was officially presented in the County Assembly on Monday by Bonya Matuta Ward representative, that is Julius Matwere. Now, Governor Nyaribo faces allegations of abuse of office and constitutional violations, marking the third attempt by county legislators to remove him from office. The motion comes 2 years after previous unsuccessful efforts to impeach the governor.
To give notice of motion for removal of Honorable Amos Nyaribo, the governor of Nyamira County, from office by way of impeachment on the following grounds. Number 1, gross violation of the Constitution of Kenya and other laws. And 2, abuse of office. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, Julius Bitok, the Principal Secretary of Education, has assured Kenyans that the government remains committed to ensuring fairness and accountability in national examinations. Bitok made the remarks while presiding over the opening of the Kenya Certificate of Secondary School Education, that is the KCSE, exams at the Deputy Commissioner's office in Kikuyu, that is in Kiambu County. Speaking at the event, Bitok announced that KCSE results will be released on December 11th, while the school placement process is expected to be completed within 1 week. He emphasized that the timely release of results is crucial for students to plan their educational futures, including joining secondary schools and exploring other academic opportunities. Take a look.
After the KCSE exams that were done a few weeks ago, we are ready for transition to the senior school. I want to state categorically that we have put in systems and measures and everything that is required to ensure that we have a smooth transition of 1.1 million learners who have done their KCSE, and we expect that the results will be out by 11th of December, and we are going to do placement immediately after that so that they can go to senior school. Our plan is that we release the results for KCSE on the 11th, and within 1 week after that, we do our placement, after which we expect them to get their letters before Christmas. And we expect them to report on the 12th of January. That is the plan.
All right, now let's talk matters healthcare. And the Senate Health Committee has raised concerns over a growing nationwide shortage of healthcare workers, warning that the crisis could undermine the delivery of essential medical services across the country. Now, speaking to the media in Kakamega on Monday, committee members said urgent intervention is needed to address the gap, despite the country having many trained health professionals who remain unemployed. The leaders noted that the challenge is not a lack of qualified personnel, but limited resources to hire them on permanent and pensionable terms. They emphasized that thousands of trained nurses, clinicians, and other medical staff are ready to serve but cannot be absorbed due to the budget constraints within the health sector.
And also just one request to SHA management away from Nairobi is one, they need to look at the issue of the policy for SHA, because we have some areas like emergencies and critical ill patients who are already on the ward. We've had a very bad encounter in the hospital where a patient is supposed to be wheeled from the ward to, to the office of the SHA where registration is being done. Initially, they used to have OTP. They need to reinstate OTP to such clients, especially critically ill, emergencies, accidents. Those that really need that service, they need to reinstate OTP. Alternatively, they need to have mobile biometric machine that where that patient is bedded, we need to have that machine there.
So we have noted also the issue of staffing. Generally across all health facilities in the country, we have a problem of shortage of health workers. And that is why I say, and as a committee we are saying, we want to have a conversation with the unions, with SRC and Public Service Commission to see what are we going to do to make sure that this shortage is addressed. Because we have trained health workers. Our problem is sufficient resources to employ them on permanent and pensionable basis. Is there a way we can begin a process of recruiting health workers, even if it is on locum, then contract, then P&P? This referral hospital of Kakamega is supposed to have a complement of 863 nurses. They have around 240 nurses there. The shortage is about 500. Not because the county government of Kakamega is not willing to employ. They are willing to employ, but the resources is not sufficient. And that's why we are saying, if we can have this conversation, we can afford to bring in the health workers who are just staying at home into the work environment, and they practice their skills as we transition them over time into permanent and pension. We are all aware that this facility that was being developed by the county government of Kakamega has now been taken over by national government as a national referral facility. So we have agreed with the executive team here and the county assembly that now that the resources that were budgeted for by the county for that facility should now be used to improve this other facility.
Now let's talk matters politics, and opposition leaders have intensified their campaign support for Newton Kariuki as the next member of parliament in the upcoming Mbeere North by-election in Embu County. The campaign was led by Rigathi Gachagua, leader of the Democracy for Citizens Party, who addressed a large gathering of constituents. Now during the rally, opposition figures criticized the current administration of President William Ruto, highlighting the challenging economic conditions facing many Kenyans. They accused the government of failing to address issues such as raising living cost and unemployment, using the event to rally public sentiments ahead of the by-election. The opposition emphasized the need for change and urged voters to support Kariuki as a candidate who they say will better address local concerns and champion the economic interest of the residents.
Mimi najua mumeamua kuchagua Karizi, ndio? Kasongo na Karida wanasema wataiba kura yenu. Mimi nimekuja kusaidia nyinyi kulinda kura ya watu ya Momenje. Na mimi Rigiji, mtoto ya Maumau, nitakaa hapa mpaka Karizi atangazwe kama mjumbe wa Mbeere North. Ward ya Ndawa imetoa wabunge 4. Si ndio? Wadi ya Ivurore imetoa wajumbe 3. Mominji tangu uhuru hamjatoa mbunge. Mungu, kwa sababu Mungu halali, Mungu yule wa biguni amesema wakati ya Mominji kutoa mbunge ni wakati huu. Kwa hivyo watu wa Mominji, mimi nimetembea hapa, nimeaibika. Hapa kazi ni mingi na Mungu amepatia nyinyi nafasi ya kupata mjumbe kutoka hapa akuja msaidie. Kwa hivyo mimi naomba watu ya Mominji, kila mtu saa 10 usiku mkuwe kwa raini mpigie huyu Karizi. Mtatokea?
Tumekuja kuambia ya kwamba Rais Ruto na serikali yake wamegonjeka, na kwa hivyo wanataka kuondolewa mamlakani. Tuko pamoja? Neroaigura torauga na musindanganywe. We want to demonstrate to you that William Ruto is a liar. Huyu jamaa anasema uongo kama ameshikilia Biblia. William Ruto lies with the Bible on his hands. He doesn't blink na hana hata haya. Wasikia hivyo mimi nawaambia? Munasikia hivyo nawaambia? Kama mtu anawaambia atesha inafanya kazi, nyinyi ndio wagonjwa, munaenda hospitali na mbili hailipwi, muongo ama si muongo?
Right, residents of Southwest Sakwa location are calling on the government to abolish medical charges for victims of rape and defilement, saying the high cost of treatment and processing of P3 forms continues to obstruct justice for survivors. Speaking during a mentorship program at Capio Chiefs Camp, the locals argued that many victims are unable to afford the required medical fees, leaving perpetrators to walk free while vulnerable families suffer in silence. The event was organized by Teen Safe Haven and targeted girls aged between 10 and 25 years. Southwest Sakwa Chief Peter Obedo urged authorities to ensure that services for sexual assault victims are genuinely free, not merely promised on paper.
My name is Peter Obedo. I'm the chief for Southwest Sakwa location in Maranda Division, Bondo Sub-County. We've had cases of defilement in this area, and that is why I'm appealing for a civic education. Most of parents don't know how to handle these cases. They report them late. At times they compromise. At times when we take action, you find the culprit. Rather, the girl is now hidden somewhere, maybe to another town or to a relative. So the case dies there. On that regard also, I would take this opportunity also to appeal to the government that there should be a policy in the sense that any case of defilement or such like cases should be free, absolutely free. Let it not be on papers, but it should be actualized when you take this kid to police station up to the hospital. The P3 form should be free, absolutely free of charge, and the process should not take long. Matter to go to the children's office, coming back to the health office, going back to the chief. That time it makes, and all this involves money. Like the nearest place where I handle these cases, we can handle these cases, Bondo Police Station. From here to Bondo is about 20 kilometers. So even if it is free, you can remember this fellow will have to travel using either motorbike, which is about 500 shillings, and time not mentioned. So I think the government should also think about how to handle such like cases.
We thought of calling our girls, teenage girls, to come here so that we can give them civic education on how to take care of themselves during this long festive season, so that at least when they go back to school, they become safe, the society they be safe, to avoid things like teenage pregnancy, and to make sure they are safe. We are just volunteers, a few individuals from this, a few youths from this society who thought it wise to maybe make sure that our teenage girls become more safe during this holiday. But we also requested for some domination from the locality and some of our friends. Some responded, but some are yet to respond.
Group of young girls from age 10 to 25. We are doing a mentorship program for these young girls. Our main focus today was to reach out to these young girls in sexual abuse, teenage pregnancy, HIV, and STI. We were trying to talk to them about these situations because there are things that you have in the community that you are handling as parents back at home, but the young girls do not know how to maintain, how to take care of themselves.
Now, the National Transport and Safety Authority, that is the NTSA, has sounded an alarm over the rising number of road fatalities across Kirinyaga, Embu, and Tharaka Nithi counties, following a sharp upsurge in the accidents reported this year, speaking during a commemoration event for the road crash victims held in Embu town. NTSA Regional Manager Regan Mureithi revealed that 229 people have died in road accidents in the 3 counties between January and October. According to the statistics, Kirinyaga recorded at least 96 deaths, Embu 86, while Tharaka Nithi reported 47 fatalities. Mureithi urged all road users to take responsibility for ensuring safety on the roads, emphasizing that strict adherence to traffic rules by pedestrians, motorists and passengers is essential in reversing the worrying trend.
Sisi watu wa Neno tuko na mpango dhabiti. In fact, on Tuesday tuko na kikao maalum ya kujipanga vile tutakabiliana na mambo ya ajali katika msimu huu, especially wa Krismasi, sababu tunajua msimu huu unakuanga na mambo mingi sana kuhusu ajali kwa sababu watu wengi huwa wanasafiri. Tuko na mpango wa kuwa kwa barabara, na ningetaka kuarifu kitengo cha NTSA tutawahusisha, because we as Neno mtatupata kwa barabara tukijaribu kuangalia vile magari yetu yako, vile drivers wetu wanaendesha magari, na pia tukiangalia tunakuanga na kifaa cha kuangalia ulevi. Kwa hivyo mtatupata kwa barabara almost kila siku.
Tutaendeleza campaign ya kuhamasisha watu kuhusu usalama barabarani, haitaisha siku ya leo. Kwa hivyo kuanzia kesho kuendelea tutaendelea na kazi hiyo ili tufikie kila mmoja wetu katika county hii yetu ya Embu, Tharaka na Kirinyaga. Tuwajulishe ya kwamba ni jukumu la kila mmoja wetu kuwa mwangalifu wa barabara. Nichukue nafasi tena kusema ya kwamba tumepoteza watu wengi sana, haswa sehemu hii ya Embu na Tharaka Nithi na Kirinyaga. Kirinyaga ikiongoza kwa idadi. Kutoka Januari mpaka mwezi wa Oktoba, Kirinyaga imepoteza watu 96. Embu imepoteza 86 na Tharaka Nithi imepoteza 47. So ukiangalia hao ni watu wengi sana ambao tumepoteza katika region hii, na kwa hivyo hatutaki kupoteza wengine zaidi. Kwa hivyo leo tunasema ya kwamba tuwe waangalifu zote, kwa sababu kwenda mbele hatutaki kusikia tumepoteza moyo hata mmoja kupitia barabara. Huwa tunasema ya kwamba kupoteza moyo mmoja ni kupoteza mioyo mingi. Kwa hivyo tukitoka hapa tunajulisha wananchi ya kwamba kila mtu awe mwangalifu kwa barabara.
Na sisi watu ya transport, particularly watu ya matatu, sisi tumejipanga ili reduce accidents, kwa sababu accident ikifanyika inaathiri hata mwenye gari, hata driver, hata conductor, na kila mtu anaathirika na hiyo.
All right, it's a wrap here tonight here on EBN Prime Edition. My name is Martin Macharia, alongside the incredible Laura Omondi, who has been bringing you every word to life in sign language interpretation with precision and passion. My name is Martin Macharia once again. Good evening, and as always, let's do this again when God says we do.